First tonight on Our News Weekend, it's said to be a game changer for the country's justice system. The National Security Minister breaks down the Parole Act set to go before Cabinet. Plus, a shocking altercation caught on camera leads to a national crime consultant calling for non-lethal resources to be provided for police officers. And later, small in stature but big in heart. Meet 11-year-old Ethan Johnson, the primary school student looking to make a difference amongst his peers. We've got his story and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. The government is taking a significant step toward reforming the justice system, with some upgrades taking place and the opening of new courts. Now, the Parole Act is expected to be presented to Cabinet soon. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe sharing an update with our Delvado Emmanuel on the legislation's progress to date.
That has gone to law reform, and they will now have to have a look at it, look at all the comments, and finalize a version that we would then take to Cabinet for approval to table in the House, hopefully before the end of this quarter.
The Parole Act promises to be a game changer for the country's justice system. Currently, inmates benefit from automatic remission, serving only a portion of their sentence. Monroe explains the first impact the new act will be to eliminate this policy.
Right now, if you come to prison and the court sends you for 12 months, Commissioner Clare will tell you he's going to release you after 8 months, because 4 months comes off right away. 4 months of every year. The first thing the act is going to do is do away with that. No time will disappear. You will serve 12 months. 8 months may be in the facility, 4 months will be in the community.
Under the proposed system, parole will be conditional. If an inmate violates the term of their parole or commits a new offense, they will be required to serve the remainder of their original sentence. However, he added that the act will not apply retroactively. According to Monroe, inmates serving long-standing sentences may be able to opt into the new system, but will need to agree to forfeit any remission they've already received.
If they wish to sign up to it, I told them they would have to give back the 4 months we had already taken off, because you can't have the best of both worlds.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thanks so much, Delvado. Well, take a look at this shocking video. It shows what appears to be police officers engaged in an altercation with residents in the middle of the street. As the altercation continues, it appears as if one of the officers reached and pulled out his firearm, prompting anger from the onlookers. Crime consultant Carlos Reed says he saw the video and it troubled him. He believes officers need more resources when dealing with specific situations like this.
So I believe that we need non-lethal weapons to help the police, like tasers, like even the billies that they used to have back then, but something that they could be able to protect themselves, to make sure that they are able to go back home to their family at night.
Now, while Reed believes non-lethal weapons are part of the solution, he says residents should still be respectful of the law.
It shows the level of lawlessness that we have in our society. It wasn't as if those police were out of uniform, they were in uniform, so clearly they knew that that represented law and order. I believe that we have to get back in our country where we start to instill values in our young people.
Meantime, 18 foreign nationals were apprehended by the Department of Immigration's Enforcement Unit in Grand Bahama for immigration-related offenses in Operation Reset on Thursday. The operation focused on the Lucaya and Smith Point areas. Of the 18, 10 were Chinese, 7 Haitian, and 1 Ecuadorian. After being transported to the immigration head office in Freeport, initial investigations indicate several of them have overstayed their lawful visit. They were scheduled to appear on January 17th in Magistrates Court Number 3 before Senior Magistrate LaQuay Lang. The government has secured a building for the much-anticipated domestic violence shelter promised by the Davis administration. A gender-based violence study published in April revealed that 1 in 4 women in the Bahamas had experienced physical or sexual violence. Survivors also highlighted difficulties in accessing health care, law enforcement, and social services. Social Services Minister Miles Loroda says the next steps for the shelter.
We purchased that building last year, and presently we are about to go out for quotes for the renovations and the implementation of the security devices. And so we're looking to have that sorted out, if not in the first quarter, by the first half of this year.
The Social Services Minister telling us the facility will be able to hold multiple families. Amid multiple instances of women facing domestic violence issues, Loroda tells us government is continuously working to address these issues.
The actions of the government and the state, along with civil society, it's fluid. So you're never going to reach utopia. There's always going to be things that we could work on. We have the Commission for the Status of Women that will be coming up in March, and so the government initiatives will be further explained then.
While the local stock market continues to show steady growth, proving to be a promising investment opportunity for Bahamians. Over the years, it has transformed into a viable avenue for Bahamians to grow and create wealth for themselves. Tonight, in our monthly sit-down interview, we speak with RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investment, David Slatter, who shares the history of the local market and its evolution over the years.
In May of 2000, the BIS6 index was formed. Its value was 1,000. Recently it got to 3,000. If you do the calculation, that's an annual average increase of a little over 8%. I think it's 8.3%. That's before dividends. So if you add dividends, you're talking about an annual average return of in excess of 10% in the Bahamian equity market. Now, some years have been negative, some years have been 30%. So it's not a smooth ride, but to say there's nothing happening in the local market is not correct. And last year, the Bahamas Property Fund was, let me check my notes to get the exact number for you. The Bahamas Property Fund was up 42%. All right, FAMGuard up 37%, Focal up 35%, AML Foods up 18%, Kalina up 17%, right? So, those are very impressive returns, and this is before dividends. All of those companies pay a dividend, so add another 3% on average to each of those. So to say there's no opportunities in the local equity market means you are missing out on an opportunity.
When we come back from the break, a laundry list of questions and concerns. The Bahamas Union of Teachers President is calling for dialogue and answers. Plus, a technical institute serving the Northern Bahamas is looking to expand their program offerings. We'll tell you how they plan to prepare the future of the nation when Our News Weekend returns.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Human resource issues, school repairs, and a breakdown in communication with the minister. These are among the list of issues the Bahamas Union of Teachers President says she's most concerned about. And with students having just returned to the classroom for the new year, the president says she's open to dialogue, but first she needs answers to certain questions. Our Joshua Williams fills us in.
As the winter system has begun in our school system, Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson says there are still concerns that need to be addressed, despite students returning to the classroom. Wilson says human resource issues are still present, even in the new year.
Your confirmation, the increments, back pay. We have about 360 expatriate teachers who are waiting for re-employment letters. Without those re-employment letters, they are unable to open a bank account. They're not able to do business transactions. We are impressing upon the Ministry of Education to ensure that those letters are completed and distributed to our expatriate teachers who are our members.
Last week, the Ministry of Education announced plans for integrating Junkanoo into the curriculum, a move the ministry hopes will inspire young Junkanooers and keep tradition alive amongst the nation's future. And while Wilson praised the move, she also has some concerns.
We did not see and we did not have a revised curriculum. They have not provided any resources and material. They said that they're bringing persons from the Junkanoo world to come into the schools for them to assist. And like we said to them, who is vetting these individuals who are going to be coming into the schools to be with our nation's darlings?
Wilson has in the past criticized government for its handling of school repairs, something she says still needs to be addressed in this new year.
We have given them recommendations, and one of the recommendations was for the Ministry of Education to have personnel on their staff. So that you're talking about your plumbers, your electricians, carpenters, etc. So during the entire year, those individuals will be able to repair the schools and not wait until everything falls down.
Now, last week, Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin called for unity, saying there should be no negative vibes this new year. But Wilson had this to say.
Ask the minister when was the last time she met with the leadership of the Bahamas Union of Teachers. So if you want support, there's something called dialogue. There's something called communication. There's something called consultation. So if you want support, first of all, you must show us your strategic plan. What is the plan for that which you hope to implement?
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Joshua. Well, Ruth Nell Technical Institute, which caters to the Northern Bahamas, is preparing to strengthen its pre-technology training program and introduce a youth intervention and technical certificate program in East Grand Bahama and Abaco. The institution is officially registered with the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas. According to the institute's president, Fred Delancey, Grand Bahama's unemployment rate remains high, and he believes technical training can help students secure jobs. These initiatives come as next month is being recognized as Technical Education Awareness Month, during which they will host a series of events aimed at promoting technical education.
Result of this, we'll see greater productivity in the workplace, and also will reduce, I believe, crime and other anti-social behavior. Now, one of the main events during Careers and Tech Month is Technical Education and Careers Rally and Workshop, to be at 8 Morocco High School, using 8 Morocco High School senior students. Under the theme, Training Tomorrow's Workforce, we have special presentations on jobs available in industry and preparing for the job market, stuff like that.
The president says there has been requests for technical certification courses in a number of areas, and he confirms they will be reintroduced.
In modern digital technology, beginning and advanced, heavy equipment operation, beginning and advanced, also electrical technology, cosmetology, office procedure, plumbing, and welding. I believe that the key, we can come with all the different ideas about the church and the family and so forth and so on, but all that is good basically. But the key to reducing crime basically is education. In this case, technical education basically. If you equip someone with enough skills to go there and not only find a job, but the possibility of basically even opening their own business, there'll be less tendency to be on the streets causing problems.
Well, still in the north, the Swingers Junkanoo Group has come out on top as the winners of the 2025 Senior Junkanoo Parade over in Grand Bahama. Tonight, our Italia Hall speaks with members of the group about their victory and what it means for them moving forward.
We feel amazing. I mean, we worked tirelessly this whole year to bring this victory home. It was some challenges. It wasn't easy, but I can say through God, we executed it with our great team.
Excitement and celebration were in the air as the Swingers Junkanoo group proclaimed victory at the 2025 Senior Junkanoo Parade held on January 9th. It has been nearly a decade since their last win in 2016, making this victory all the more special. The group's chairman, John Armley, says months of intense preparation went into getting the Swingers ready for the parade. He expressed heartfelt gratitude to their supporters and sponsors for making it all possible.
We were hopeful simply because we recognize the Platinum Knights as well as the Rockers. They're not a slum group. They're really a good group. And in order to compete with them, we have to bring our best. So what I told the group is we cannot come average. We have to be over the top. We have to know that once we line up, the parade is going to be competitive.
This year's theme, the Great Indian Reunion. According to Armley, it was a vision of their late leader, Anthony Huck Williams, who had wanted to bring this concept to life before his passing.
So we thought it would be fitting to put this theme together. We made it where each and every section was unique in terms of its colors and its costuming. And as you would have seen, when it all came together, you saw the bright, elaborate costumes that we were able to put out on the parade route, and you saw what the presentation was.
Despite challenges on the parade route in Grand Bahama, including weather conditions, the Swingers were still able to deliver a spectacular performance. Group leader Michael Miller says their victory is a testament to the team's dedication.
I made it a point this whole year I watched videos of our wins and our losses. I watched videos of the competitors' wins and their losses. And so we just did it different. We just put a little bit more fire under our members to step up, including ourselves. We also had to step up as leaders. I must commend the chairman because he was one of those persons, he never let things just be as is. He always say it could be better. He made it a point to say that it could always be better. So that is something that drove us to where we are today.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks so much, Italia. Still to come on Our News Weekend, our Marlena Leonard introduces us to an 11-year-old student making a difference in the lives of his peers. We'll tell you how, but first,
we introduce you to a marathon runner about to represent the Bahamas in a very special race. All that and more next on Our Sports Weekend.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Good evening, welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. A Bahamian marathoner has the opportunity of a lifetime to run in Venezuela next month. But here's the thing, the marathon is by invitation only. Our Sasha Lightburn has more.
Unalise Lightburn is one of our premier marathon runners in the country, and next month she will have the opportunity to represent the Bahamas at the CAF Marathon in Caracas, Venezuela. The marathon, which is by invite only, is made up of runners throughout the region.
Charles Johnson contacted me first. This is where it's so important to be part of a running club. Right. I am a Roadmasters running club member, and then he contacted me with Dramico request, and I said, well, yes, I would like to, but I will have to reconsider some other, because I'm a school teacher.
Now, Unalise had to get permission to participate in the race from her school's principal, and the principal agreed.
It's a lot of hard work, and then it has to come, recovery has to be in place, and nutrition, all that, and because we're already in age. I am not that young as I used to be. Well, back in the years I wasn't even running, but this year I'm going to be 50 years old, and never in my wildest dream this will cross my mind at this age and at this time to get this opportunity to run for the Bahamas in another country.
She also spoke about the challenges.
The course has different elevations, and it's going to be challenging, but so what? We train for this, and this is our dream come true.
The marathon will be held on February 16th. Reporting for Our Sports, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
Thank you, Sasha, and best of luck to you, Nellis, in South America. Now over to the gridiron, where the Strawn family is having a strong month. Last week, Prince Strawn announced that he's signing with USC. His brother, Mike, will continue his career in the NFL. The wide receiver announced that he signed with the Washington Commanders on a reserve future contract yesterday. The 6'5", 27-year-old out of Grand Bahama has shown glimpses of potential in 3 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts and the Carolina Panthers, but he's never been able to see the field consistently. The deal will allow him to work out and develop with the team in the offseason and get a shot at a roster spot when the camp comes around. The Commanders' offense may be the best situation he stepped into in his NFL career. With Rookie of the Year favorite quarterback Jaden Daniels and Wizard offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury scheming up plays, look for him to have a breakout season if he can integrate himself into the offense. Now, the Commanders have a playoff game tonight, but he's not suiting up for that one. He'll work out with the squad in the offseason. We have a lot of Bahamians on the court tonight. You know we'll talk about them tomorrow. That's it for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tej Adderley.
Thanks so much, Tej. On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKenzie steps into the weather center and he's got a look at temperatures around the country. Stick with us.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Welcome back. Beautiful weather on the outside earlier today. As to what you can expect for the remainder of the weekend, well, meteorologist Ian McKenzie fills us in. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Saturday evening forecast. We're currently outside our studios under mostly cloudy skies with a temperature of 77. Feels like the same also at 77. Our winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the country at this time, we have 76s in Freeport, Marsh Harbor, and in Allenstown, 77s in Nicholstown, Great Albuquerque, Nassau, and in Governors Harbor, Eleuthera. South Central Bahamas, 78s in Kemps Bay, 77 in Georgetown, and in Deadman's Key, as well as Arthurstown, Kidd Island, 75 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, we have 78s in Duncantown, as well as Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, 79 in Matthewtown, 77s in Colonel Hill, Delectable Bay, and in Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana. First look now at our satellite and radar imagery where we have some cloudiness, mostly high-level clouds. This is all associated with a frontal system that will continue to creep southeastwards and towards our area. We expect this front to push through us sometime late Sunday into early Monday. Boating forecast, we still have a caution in effect for in northwest Bahamas. Rather, we also have a risk of rip currents out there for you swimmers. Winds will be southerly at 15 to 20, seas 4 to 7 feet, high tide at 11:12 p.m. tonight, low tide at 5:20 a.m. tomorrow morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, we have that caution in place as well. Winds will be southeast to south at 15 to 20 knots. We expect those winds to begin subsiding tomorrow, as well as the seas 4 to 6, but should get down to about 2 to 4 feet on Sunday. In your extended forecast, as I mentioned earlier, we do expect a frontal system to push through the northwest Bahamas on Monday. Chance of showers then. A next one on Wednesday, chances of showers bump up again, and another one, third one rather, on Friday. That should also increase some shower chances, but we expect those temperatures to dip by the end of the week. That's a wrap in evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, the season of giving may be over, but the spirit of giving lasts year-round. Tonight, Marlena Leonard brings you the story of one 11-year-old boy determined to make a difference. Take a look.
When most kids are asked for their Christmas list, they naturally think of gifts for themselves. That wasn't the case for 11-year-old Ethan Johnson, who decided his Christmas list would include the children of the All Saints camp. Take a look at this clip of Ethan on December 21st, taking his turn as Santa.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
When asked what inspired the idea, Ethan says,
"My mom asked me to write my Christmas wish list, and I thought about the children who didn't receive Christmas presents on Christmas Day. So what I decided to do with the help of my mom is find an organization that had children that we could donate Christmas presents to. We ended up donating about 31 gifts to children 10 months to 17 years old with the help of my family members and friends. It really brought joy to me and warmed my heart to see the smiles on their faces."
He's also been hosting basketball clinics for children at the Ranfurly Home for Children. It's a sport that has a personal connection to him.
Because when I was growing up, like around the 4th grade, I used to get bullied a bit because they would say, the 6th graders would say that I'm not really good at basketball. So that summer, I trained hard and I went to a basketball camp. And every day after the camp, I would practice my basketball skills until I was good enough to make it on the school's basketball team for grade 5 and 6.
Now he hopes to instill that confidence and hope for personal growth in the children at the home.
I would go there with the help of my dad and my basketball coaches, and we would instruct drills, we would play basketball games, and we would warm up, hoping that they could use some of those basketball skills later on into their career. For example, if some of them want to be basketball players.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Awesome initiatives. Thank you so much, Marlena. And thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepard here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.